That's 22 people every day whose lives might have been saved. Hello, my name is Christopher Gollum, and I would like to speak to you today about the importance of organ donation and how much of a difference you can make if you become an organ donor. Now, I know mortality is a scary thing to talk about. None of us want to think about dying, about our lives ending, and what that would mean to our families, our loved ones. Or even to consider that our deaths in some way will not lead to majestic treatment of our body. But there are some facts that we all have to understand about how we can help people and how we can make a difference in this world by simply becoming an organ donor. And some of those facts are that since 1991, the need for organ transplants and actual transplants have not increased at the same rate. Since 1991, transplants and donations have doubled. The problem is the need for transplants have risen by over 6 times in that same time period. So even though today there are 120 million Americans who have signed up to be organ donors, that just doesn't cover the need for organ donations on an annual basis within this country. And why doesn't it? Because every 10 minutes, a new person gets added to the transplant list. And their lives depend on whether or not a suitable donor is found. But who are these people? Who is it that needs donations? Is it just the old and the elderly who are trying to hang on for more life? No, it's not. In 2014, 783 of the transplants were performed on children 5 and younger, with 1,800 of the transplants for people under the age of 18. So the question is, what can we do to make a difference? Well, obviously the first thing is to sign up to be an organ donor. Be someone's hero. Save a life. And one of the things to remember is that this isn't something where they're going to come to you in the middle of the night and take your organs from you because you've agreed to be a donor. And you have 2 kidneys, so they're going to take 1. That's not how it works. This is only going to affect you after you pass. After your life and the way you live will no longer be affected. And the reality of it all is that you yourself may find that you need an organ transplant. In 2010, 2.5 million people died in this country. Can you imagine how many people would still be on the donor list or on the need list for transplants if these 2.5 million people were all donors? And please remember that when somebody passes who is an organ donor, they generally donate up to 4 organs. That would be 10 million organs donated. If that happened just 1 year, we may not even have much of a need or a backlog for transplants. The need would be much less each year going forward. But it's not just life-saving organ donations that happen. Some of those organ donations help people with their quality of life. In 2014, there were 48,000 corneal implants. People who either had lost or were losing their sight had a second chance to see. And that quality of life was given to them because people made a difference by making the choice to be organ donors. Now, the need is obvious. And with little effort, we all can make a difference and be that hero in somebody's life. So please, sign up today. Because in reality, it may be your life that is saved by an organ donor. Thank you for your consideration, and have a good evening.